Hello, this is Bridget with Divine Essentials. Okay, guys, happy Halloween. I know I didn't do a reading yesterday, I don't believe. I had one to post, but I never actually got to do it. So I'm going to do one for Halloween. I was actually going to go live, that's why I'm dressed up, but then I, found out some news with my family, and I was like, I don't know if I should go live. It's kind of weird. But it is Halloween, and I am dressed up, so I'm like, I should at least record. And I have my Halloween deck. I also have a couple other decks here. One is the dragon one, and something just messaged me. The dragon one, and then I have the Spirits of Darkness and Light Divination Oracle by Mystic Moon, and I also have the Crystal Visions Tarot. So I'm going to be mixing those about a little bit. I started off with the Halloween, and the first one out was Cauldron, Synergy, and Healing, okay? So I feel like, you could be in this time of synergistic healing, okay? Like things are coming together. Things are going to start to flow. It's going to like be bubbling into your life. You may be just finding that it's easier for you to go with the flow, or it's easier for you to just heal, heal and grow and not take everything personally, or not be so apt to be out of the flow, you know what I mean? Because I know sometimes we can really want to be in the flow, and we can really try hard to be in the flow, but it's almost like the harder you try to be in the flow, the further away from it you get. So instead of trying, a lot of times it's better to just be, just be who you are, be where you are, whatever's the case, whatever's happening around you, whoever's around you, whoever's not around you, whoever, or whatever is happening. Try not to go against the flow too much. Try to just kind of, be the one that's like, be the stick, be the stick that's just kind of like, there you go, I'm just going with the flow. Just doing what I need to do. And that's probably going to help you open up to the infinite possibilities. I have Skull of Stars here. Okay, so this deck has a lot of different skull decks or skull cards. And the skull card here is about infinite possibilities. So, again, whatever's happening right now, whoever you're connected to, whatever you're connected to, wherever you're connected, there's infinite possibilities always available. So you may not know what's going on. You may not know what to think. You may not know what to feel. You may not know what to want anymore. Sometimes it's like, oh my God, what do I do? How do I do it? What do I think? What do I feel? What do I want? Where am I going? What are they doing? What is this happening? I don't understand. And there's infinite possibilities. So we live in like a multiverse, and every moment there's so many like series of events that are happening, and everything that you do is just like a ripple effect into not only this reality but the realities that surround us. And I feel like when you're in this reality here, it can be kind of dense, it can be kind of heavy, and it can be very limiting because of the limitations that we see or perceive with our bodies and our minds. We think of our brain as like this little thing inside of our head, but the brain is like connecting us to our consciousness, and it's like our superconductor. And I feel like that's where we need to be focused more so on trying to like tap into that infinite possibilities of our skull. And like the crystal skulls that are across the planet, there's like a electrical web that is connected to those skulls, but it's also connected through our skulls, so they talk about the 13 crystal skulls. I feel like really beyond that, because it's like I feel like that was an information, or that was something that was told to those of us awakening, those of us who know what I'm talking about. It was something that we might have needed then to awaken and to be like, ooh, 13 skulls, ooh, they're amazing, ooh, they're on the planet and they're doing something special because they're a physical thing and they're a crystal skull and there's 13 of them and blah, 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 blah. And I feel like it's more so like we're getting beyond that now. We're getting tapped into the point where it's like there's infinite skulls, there's infinite possibilities beyond what we see, what we perceive, what the physical world shows us or allows us to, do. But when we break out of the limitations of the physical world, we really tap into the infinite possibilities that are around us, and we start to see miracles occur, and we start to see synchronicities pick up, and we start to see those moments of like, oh my god, and just more and more and more of those moments will come the more that you get into that synergistic healing, and the more you get into that knowing that there is infinite possibility. So even if something's happening right now in this version of reality that you do not like, or that you're not very much like yay about, you can just like switch over into the one that you want to be in, and allow yourself to be there, and don't go against the grain, don't go against the flow, don't start stirring backwards because God forbid something isn't exactly what you want it to be, or whatever. It's like we're never gonna get exactly. It's like the butterfly effect when he was like trying to like fix it all and go back to this one, go back to this moment, fix this thing, fix that problem. You can't fix all the problems. You can't go back and do anything about what's already happened. You can reflect on it and think about it, and when you do, make sure you recognize how far you've come from where you've been, no matter what you're dealing with, or who you're dealing with, or why you're dealing with whatever you're dealing with. Just always keep thinking like, yeah, you know what, I could still be there, or I could still be, that version of me. And maybe there is a version of you that you'd like to get back to, and that's okay too. You can get back to whoever you've been, but you're still going to be a newer, improved version of that self too. So try not to get too caught up on things that have already happened, or even what's going to happen, and just more so be in the moment of the infinite possibilities that could possibly happen, but be in one that's like, they're going to be great, they're going to be awesome, they're going to be like exactly what I need. So even if it doesn't look like what I need, I'm going to just open up and allow it to be whatever it's meant to be. And if it's meant to be that it's like what I thought it was going to be, or what I thought I wanted it to be, then awesome. But if it's something that I don't want it to be, or I think I don't want it to be, but that's really where I need to be, I'm going to trust that the universe knows better than me, or trust that whatever I'm doing that's healing and growing and evolving is going to take me to where I need to be, or who I need to be near, or what I need to be doing for my career, or what I need to be doing for my soul purpose, or what I need to be doing for my relationship, for myself, my relationship with my family, my relationship with my friends. Because the next card we have here is Ancestors, and it says the love and legacy of our DNA. So, we all are leaving a legacy behind through our DNA. And those who've come before us, those who come after us, our children's children, they are going to be part of our legacy. So when you are doing stuff in this world, or when you are, dealing with other people, and you're going to be like connecting with other people and making babies with other people, or doing those types of things, think about that, who's the type of person that you want to be doing that stuff with. My dogs are all sleeping. But who's the type of person that you want to be connecting with, and that love and that legacy that you're going to leave behind. Like, how do you want to impact the world? Because that's going to be another infinite possibility for you to make good people. Like, if you have kids, make them good. And don't take on responsibility to the fact that, like, if you just have some weird thing happen and, like, your kid's like, don't be like, oh my God, that's my fault. Sometimes our kids can be a little crazy. And I say our kids like I have them. I feel like I have a lot of kids because I've taken care of a lot of people from that age of being little tiny baby to, not a little tiny baby. And sometimes they were my kids, like, through, like, spirit, I feel. And sometimes they weren't. And sometimes they were other people's kids. And that's not always easy. But if you are in that position as a stepmom, or somebody, say you're in love with somebody that has kids from another person, don't do something that's going to be detrimental to that child. Because just because it's not your child doesn't mean that there's a bad bone in their body. Doesn't mean that there's something wrong with them. It doesn't even mean that what you maybe perceive about them is true. My stepfather hated me, and my stepmother didn't really like me either, because she was jealous of the relationship I had with my dad. She, like, ripped the door off the hinges one night because I asked to sleep a second night over. I used to see him every other Friday night. And I asked if I could stay the Saturday night too that weekend. And she ripped the door off the hinges because she was so mad that I had asked. And then once she had her own kids, she kind of lightened up. But that was also because she wanted a babysitter. So those were two more kids that I kind of took care of. And then my stepdad just didn't like me because of things that my mother made him believe. So, don't always take it at face value when you have relationships in your life, and think about the DNA things that are being passed down. Like who are you dealing with? And like if you're looking at children and you're like projecting onto those kids all this hate and this resentment and this jealousy or whatever, because I feel like my stepdad probably projected a lot of his dislike of my dad onto me too, because my mom and my dad were first loves, and like they were still getting together when right before she passed away. So there was history there, and there was love there that was never going to end. And I feel like that was sometimes, projected onto me as like, you're a bad person because of my DNA, because of who I am as a human being. And we don't want to do that to people. We don't want to chastise people just because their mom may be someone you don't like, or their dad may be someone you don't like. And if you're going to get into a relationship with somebody that already has kids, don't be a fool. Don't be doing that if you really cannot handle it. And if you cannot handle it, be honest about it to yourself first off, and then be honest to the people that you're dealing with, so that you don't go into a family and screw it up even worse than it may already be screwed up. And I don't like to say that as like, you taking on responsibility, like I screwed them up, but be responsible where you go, and be responsible enough to know that like you're the adult in the situation. And if you chose somebody who has children, that was your choice. And if they have children from someone you don't like, are you okay with that? Are you gonna be okay with that? Think about those things when you do it. And we also have remembrance coming through here. So there may be some things that you gotta have to remember from your own childhood, or remember from your own life, that's gonna help you with like what you leave behind for your legacy and your DNA. There could be things that we have remembered in our DNA that we don't even know consciously, that were passed down to us from our great grandfather, who was like abused in a war, or who was captive somewhere, or a hostage situation, or they were like a slave situation. There's so many people on this planet who have been enslaved at different times. We're still enslaved in different ways as a society. And in different places it's worse than other places. But at the end of the day, there really is like this thing happening where there's a lot of people who don't even recognize that this, like, they're in a box, or they're in a cage basically, and they're just living their life for that. But a lot of the reason that is because it's been ingrained into us as human beings since the dawn of time. Like even when the Anunnaki came and created humans. If you know about that, you may know like the whole little story there, and you may understand what I'm talking about. But that was literally to create a slave race so that they could mine monatomic gold. And they did. And then they left and went and fixed their stuff on their planet. And they, also ruined freaking Mars in the process of it. So when you look at Mars and you're like, that's kind of like, do you ever feel that feeling of like, I feel like we've already screwed that up? Or like Mars looks like what Earth's going to look like if we keep going in the path that we're going? Because I do, and I know that for sure, that if we keep doing what we're doing on this planet, that Mars is going to be just like, what Earth is. Basically Earth is going to be what Mars is. So it's like you can look at that and feel it in your soul. Like look at it through the Google Earth. You can go to Mars with Google Earth, I believe now. I know I've been there. I know I've been there, and I've looked around with something, and I saw a lot of different things there that I was like, I know they've gone and they've like made it so that we can't see certain things now on different places of the planet, and on different places that are out there, like they get like all discombobulated or like pixelated. When you see something like that, know that it's most likely hiding something, and what it's maybe hiding is like proof of what I'm talking about, or proof that there was definitely some peeps up on Mars at different points, and there still could be some inside of Mars. They've found water there, and they have found a lot of other things there, and they're gonna be going there, I think, again. So just know that the things that we have inside of us as humans, there's a whole history, and as women, we hold all of the wounds and all of the pain and all of the suffering and all of the trauma and all of the bad stuff that our ancestors went through inside of our belly, inside of our womb space. So the womb is a place to create and bring joy and to give birth to life. That is what the womb is for. But as women, we take on the wounds and the pain and the suffering and all the ickiness of those around us, and those who came before us, and those who we care about and we love, and we just like take it and we like put it in our belly. And we need to not do that, because it makes us sick. I think that's one of the reasons why I always get so sick with my stomach, is because I hold and I take 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 from everybody all of their pain and all of their suffering and all of their trauma and all of the illusions that they have and all of these beliefs that they keep. And I feel it personally. Like, I feel it personally when I hear people are suffering, or when people are upset, or when they have an issue. I feel it inside of me, and I'm like, oh, and it makes me sick. So I need to transmute that and, do like the womb rite. The womb rite is basically the 13th rite, because it's the 13th energy. The divine feminine is 13, which is another thing that has been kind of like stomped out on the planet. They don't want us to remember that, because 13 is connected to the divine feminine because of the 13 cycles. They even went as far as to stop making buildings with 13 floors. They went as far as to stop making staircases with 13 stairs. Like, there's a lot of things that have that information that's been like hidden, or put behind the veil, and just distorted. And October 13th is actually the time that the Masonics temple, or the Freemasons, or whatever you want to call them, they were taken down. And so they're like, oh, this is a bad day, this is an unlucky day, and 13 is an unlucky number. But it's really not. It used to be that, like, every Friday we would honor the goddess, and like 13 was also a number that was honored, because we had 13 cycles of the divine feminine. Not every time, not every year. I think it's like every 4th year or something like that, but it's like the leap year thing. But we've also changed the fucking calendar a lot, and we've also created the calendar from nothing, and we created time from nothing. So at the end of the day, it's been an evolution, and we're getting back to the freedom of, wait, why are we doing a calendar? Wait, why does 13 matter? Why does it matter at all? Why is it lucky or unlucky? Like, why are we letting these things limit us, when there's infinite possibilities, that have been passed down to us, that have been, deeply remembered inside of our souls? And we all share this collective consciousness that taps into each other, into like a vast reservoir of information. But the things that in your subconscious, a lot of times are going to be the same as mine, because we're here on this planet together, and we have like these same things that are like bombarded at us or fed to us as kids, or as adults, anybody on the planet. Fear, illusion, separation, darkness, all of this stuff. And we need to remember the freedom of that, like, to get away from that, so that we don't have to live our lives in those ways. So the next one was midnight, and it says the most magical hour of all. So midnight, from midnight to like 3 a.m. is a very different time for me. I feel the most at peace at that time. I don't like being up during the day with all the stuff going on in the world. It's not that I don't like the sun or anything like that. I love the sun. I love to go to the beach and get tan and do all those things, but I prefer to be up at night. So like, I'm somebody that just doesn't sleep. I'm like, I'm just gonna go to sleep so I can enjoy the sun today, and I'm just gonna enjoy the night, and I'm gonna be able to have both. But the nighttime, I was just thinking, the nighttime is the right time, is something from when I was younger. But basically, the nighttime is like when we do get away from the chaos out there, and it's like silence and it's darkness, but it's also feminine energy, and it's more intuitive. You have to use your intuition. You have to be tapped into different senses. Like during the day, it's a masculine energy. It's all quick paced and going around and logical and thinking, and you see everything very clearly. You see everything in an instant. You know what everything is and where everybody is and what people's faces look like. But in the dark, it's feminine energy, and that's where we exude our energy of intuition, and our subtle softness of moving through, like, intuitively and feeling without your eyes having to be open, because it doesn't matter if your eyes are open, because it's dark. And you can feel people. You may not be able to see their face, so you may not know exactly what's written on their face, but you can sense it. Or maybe you can see someone's eyes, but you can't see into their eyes, but you can sense what's beyond those. And that's the feminine energy. That's the magical energy. And we need to be more honoring of that. I feel like so many of us have been invisible with our authentic self, because we've lived in a predominant masculine rolled world, where the men have taken control of the planet, and the men have been in positions of power, and the men have been revered and feared and all of that. And it used to be balanced. I think it used to be the other way. And then I think it got balanced. And then I think it went to this way. And we need to get a resurgence of the divine feminine energy back onto this planet. And you can run a business in your feminine energy. You can run your life in a feminine energy. You just have to be able to embrace it more and, like train yourself to get out of that masculine logical why, when, how, because that's so manly, and that's where we're constantly going, because that's where we've constantly been. Even just think about kids going to school all day, like learn. You get like 30 minutes of creative art. That's like taking and being like, here's 90% masculine and here's 5% fucking feminine, and it's like the other 5% is just, you can decide. And then we wonder why we have so many people who are not like identifying with like who they've been, as a human. They're like, I don't identify with my body, I don't identify with a race, or I don't identify with a sexuality, or I don't want to be a gender specific person. And I think it's because we've been so imbalanced on the planet, and so it shows up in the psyche of the humans on the planet, because they know something's wrong. They know something at their core is wrong, because they haven't been able to embrace both sides of themselves. So they may feel so aversion to the side of themselves that they are as innately being a person, especially if they've grown up in a family where women have been put down a lot, or maybe men were really toxic and they knew that. And so, like, if as a man and you think every man is toxic, like, you may start to want to not be a man anymore, or you may start to like really wish that you could be more feminine or be around more feminine, or I think that's very telling of our society, where we've come, in these years. And it's again evolving, and people are like, I don't care what you are, or who you are, or what you do, or how you do it. As long as you're good to me, I'll be good to you. But I do feel very much so that we've all been impacted. I remember being called a boy. I remember being called a boy when I was in elementary school. I cut my hair short because there was a person that I hung out with that was actually a lesbian. When I was younger, I didn't know that then, but they had their hair cut a certain way, so I wanted to cut my hair that certain way. And they were much older than me. They were an adult, but a different adult took me to do that, and my mother lost her mind when she found out. She was like, oh my god, why did you do this to her? And like, why, where's your curls? Because she used to get my hair permed when I was little. My hair's very straight usually. But it was just weird. But then later on in life, I realized, like, oh, that's why they were calling me a boy, when I found out that person that I wanted to emulate, because I liked who they were, because they were nice to me, not in a weird way or anything like that. It was just, they were nice to me, and I just wanted to be like them, because they were like one of the only people who were nice to me as a kid. And so I finally figured out later on, though, that, oh, they were lesbian, and that's why they were always with other girls, and oh, that's what that is. And then, oh, that's why their hair was short, because they, were whatever. That's just what they do, or what they were doing at that time. And I ended up dating girls, and I've been with women, and I've been with men, and I women are a little too much sometimes. They're very quick. They're like, let's be married tomorrow. I had a girl kick her husband out, or her fiance out, for me, after like one time of like a drunken hookup night that her fiance was aware of, was like there present, but just saw. And the next day, all I know is he's gone, and she's like, come live with me. And I'm like, ah. But women can be very quick to be like that, like they're quick to like kick a dude out and bring someone else in, or quick to just jump in all the way to love. And men are more like, wait, I need to be logical about this. I need to, like, this doesn't make sense. I need to do this. I need to do that. But it doesn't matter. And, we've all been through different things. We've all had relationships. We probably all had questions about stuff. You may not. Like, I know my sister's very much like, I could never do that. I could never, ever, 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 ever be near a vagina. And I'm like, okay. But other people, I find the women's bodies are much better than masculine's bodies usually, like the softness and things like that. So everybody's got their preference, everybody's got their thing, but we need to be having this acceptance and equality. Okay, so the next card is acceptance and equality, and it's called Lady de los Muertos, which I think that may be like Lady of the Death or something like that, but basically it's about acceptance and equality. So I'm accepting, and I'm all for equality, but I do really feel that like we've been so predominantly masculine for so long here that we need a big healthy dosage of feminine, like, you know, injected into this planet or injected into ourselves, just to like embrace her. Just embrace her. There's nothing wrong with her. People think of feminine as weak or like little or feeble. Like if you look up certain words, or like I remember one day I was trying to find the word for what I wanted to be, like I write a lot, and when I write a lot, like I have these words come to me, but I don't always know them. And one of the words that I wanted to be was like flowy. Like I was like seeing this girl in my mind, like she's like flowy through the thing, and it was like there was a certain word, and I can't think of the word right now. But when I looked up like what I was trying to express, the things that I had come up were like feeble-minded, or you know, vulnerable, or weak, or just like like not good, like things that we think of as not good. Like that's not good. That's not a good thing. That's like that's a weak thing. That's a bad thing. That's a low thingy. That's a thingy. Why? Because it's freaking gentle and soft, and it's small, and it's timid, and it's like, you know, doesn't know for sure. And a lot of women live in fear. We live in fear because that's how we're perceived, as weak and feeble-minded and not smart enough, and we can't drive right, and we can't do this right, and you can't vote. Why would you? Like, you know, just stupid things like that have happened over the years. But we need to have that be realized, of all of the wisdom that comes from the divine feminine. Okay, so like we have owl, wise seeing, wise action, right? She's the one that's intuitive. She's the one that sees through the night. She's the one that sees through the darkness, through the veil. She's the one that's intuitive. She can tell you when someone's going to screw you over. She can tell you when someone's going to hurt you, or someone's going to lie to you, or someone's going to do it. She can do it for herself too, but a lot of times we deny ourselves. We just like, I'm gonna just let it happen anyways, because who am I? Just some weak, feeble-minded lady, and I might as well let them, you know, take advantage of me because I'm just a little girl who don't know any better. And we gotta stop doing that. We gotta be like, you know what? Like, I'm wise enough to know I can see where this is going, and I'm not gonna let this happen to me. I'm not gonna let like people come and hurt me, or hurt my community, or hurt the people around me. You know, we need to have this place where we explore our wilderness. You know, let the masculine side through you if you need to protect your feminine. Protect your feminine, like fiercely. Put her out there, but also be strong enough. Like if you're going to use your masculine energy to protect her. And, you know, or find somebody in your life that can be the one that is like the equal balance of that for you, so that you don't have to be constantly on guard, but you just feel safe and secure. And if you don't have that physically, feel it surrounding you, because you can call in the masculine spirit without them being there physically. You don't need anybody at any time to be there. You can have whoever you want, wherever you want. And if you're like, dude, when I'm in my feminine energy, there's lots and lots of this banging at the door. This past like 2 weeks, my messages in my like my website thing, they come from Facebook, they come from Instagram, they all go to my website now. There's just men, like 1,000 men that are just like, I like you, I want to connect with you, I want to talk to you, I want to blah 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 blah, because I've been like literally trying to be more in my feminine energy, and it just attracts them like a moth to the flame. They're like, here they come. So think about that. If you're having a hard time doing that, or having people show up in your life, there may be something you need to change. Okay, so the mummy's all about changing. You may be wrapping yourself up and hiding behind who you are, or hiding behind who you perceive yourself to be, or hiding behind who you want other people to see you as. Again, if you're not being authentic, you're going to be invisible. You're not going to get seen by anybody, man, woman, child, whatever. And then you won't get your community. And right now I feel like the feminine needs to come out and weave her web and get her community. And when you're ready for the right person to be there beside you to express the wild masculine side of things, you'll already have your community built and stable and good. So don't wait for them either. Don't wait for somebody else to be there. Call them all in. Call in the men and the women, because the right men who aren't going to just be there for your body or just be there for the like whatever, they're going to come and they're going to stick. They're going to stick to your web. And if they don't stick to your web, then they weren't good food. Just let them go. And then we have the light after the darkness. So I feel like there's been a dark time on the planet, and I feel like the light is coming again. But you have to bring in that community for yourself, and we have to be, allowing ourselves to see beyond the tricks and the treats, right? Like the mischief and the play. It's okay to have that. It's okay to have mischief and play and have fun with people. And like I can be very like goofy and weird, and I can like match you being that way, like just be like weirdo. But there's a fine line between people who are playing games and people who are going to play you or hurt you in some way. So just make sure that you trust your intuition and that you are synergistic in your healing and in your feminine essence, because she's going to know who's playing the game and who's there to show up for you fully. And don't be a zombie, or don't allow the zombies to control you. Sometimes we can have things show up in our lives where men want to like control you from having your freedom. And they may not even realize it. They may just do it because they're so used to being in power or control. So don't give your power away. Don't go into these blind spots of, I'm just not going to notice that this person's doing what they're doing, or I'm just going to like deny my instincts. I'm going to deny what my gut is telling me, my soul is telling me. Don't do that to yourself, because you're just not being authentic to yourself. First and foremost, you're killing the feminine energy on the planet even more than it's already been, and you're keeping yourself from the sweetness and the synergy that we need to have at this time in our lives. When you just allow things to go in that way, whether it's that synergistic flow, things are going to be better. You're going to be protected yourself, your ancestors, your family members, the people in your life that you want to be connected. And that was funny. I stopped it real quick, so I could open my window because I'm hot. And it was 3111. So 3111, which 13 is the divine feminine. So it was 31, flipping it and mirroring it back to me. But again, you'll be protecting yourself, you'll be protecting your family, you'll be protecting your ancestors. So this part here, these next cards, I was asking, like what do you might need to know in regards to things with your, current situation. I have the spirit of the fog. Okay, so this is unclear, confusion, and shadiness. So if anybody's acting shady or confused or unclear or making you feel that way, then there may be some karma that you need to balance, and you need to have justice. But fate, destiny, and free will are also here playing a part. So know that you have free will. Like if you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel confident, you don't feel like somebody's giving you the truth, then set them free, or set your free will into play so that you're not getting bamboozled or taken advantage of or whatever. We also have tormented fear, shadow self. So this could be your fears, your shadows coming up to the surface. You may be like unclear and unsure and uncertain and all screwed up in your mind because you think someone's being shady, or somebody's being unclear, or someone's going to do something bad to me. But it may be because of what you've already been through. So you may be projecting your own fears into things, and that fear and that projection of darkness and doubt and insecurity and all of that stuff is actually going to create the thing that you don't want to create, or the thing that you're afraid is being shown to you. You may feel like this person's going to fuck me over, this person's bad, this person's no good, this person's blah, 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 blah. Or they did this and they did that and blah, 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 bringing what's already happened back into the moment, instead of having that awakening and the new dawning, so that you can have a new beginning and go to where you're being guided to go with the blessings and your answered prayers. So like, I know, because I've done this to myself. Like I've seen myself in the past, weeks, like self-sabotaging so badly, like with certain things and certain dynamics and certain people. It's like I literally do the exact opposite of what I know I should do, or what I feel in my soul I should do. It's almost like I'm trying my hardest to sabotage things, or to see things really, really, really badly, even when they're not really badly. I'm like, this is really bad. Like, and then I look and I'm like, it's really not bad, but what the fuck is wrong? Like, why do I want it to be bad? There's almost a part of me that is not attracted to things that are good. Like, there's a part of me that's like, ugh, like, like healthy. That's not where I should be, or I don't deserve that. So why would I want that? Or why would I think that? Or why would I go near that? So try not to do that to yourself either. you know, it may be something that you've dealt with in the past. So if you have this like frozen, delayed, you know, sense of energy that's been basically like the spirit of stone, like this longing, this frozen, this delayed, like hangman energy, right? Where it's like nothing's moving, nothing's happening, everything's stagnant, and you've been stuck, suspended for years. It may be because you're not taking the right actions. Okay, so we also have nature, grounded, and ancestors again. So your ancestors are calling to you to get grounded right now and get connected to nature, because nature nurtures, and it's going to help you to tap into the feminine energy, which is divine feminine, like the feminine earth, you know, Gaia. And then the masculine spirit is here, and it says action, power, dominance. So you may be succumbing to allowing somebody else to have power or dominance in a situation that you don't necessarily need to let that be the case. Some of you may need to take a journey of relocation and moving on from a situation, or some of you may need to move on from that time of where you were allowing the dominance to be on the masculine side completely, or the masculine within yourself to be like the one that's on the show and doing the things and running your businesses and, you know, taking care of this and taking care of that, and logic, and why, and how to, and all of those little things that we Google like all day long. When you're Googling shit and you're looking up the answers and all of that, that's literally our masculine mind just running the show all the time. When you're thinking about why and how and things like that, that's your masculine mind running the show, taking you through all of this stuff, because the feminine knows. The feminine is within you, and she knows. She knows everything that you need to know at her core. She doesn't need to ask, she doesn't need to Google, she doesn't need to have any of that shit, because she just knows. So just try to be that way within yourself sometimes, you know? Like if you don't know something that you should know, you Google it. Don't go starting some weird shit that you can't fucking finish. But when it's like in the instinct, in the moment, trust that the feminine knows what she needs to do. Okay? And then we have home, structure, foundation. And try to listen to her too, because I know what I need to do and what I should do and shouldn't do, and what I should be like letting go of, or like, you know, who I should be connecting to and all of that. But I also a lot of times don't listen to her, because I'm so used to letting the dominance of the masculine energy or the masculine logical side of myself be like, no, let's do this and do that and all these other things. So try to come home to a foundation within yourself of balance, at least if you're having a hard time to be one or the other. Okay, so the next cards are more so about thinking, feeling, and wanting. So this could be something to do with, like, you know, people around you. So here with the world and the sun, this was like somebody could be thinking about a chapter ending, okay? So there could be a chapter ending between you and another person, and it could be coming to a time of clarity, just like understanding why the fuck the chapter happened, or why maybe we've done what we've done within this chapter, or why the chapter lasted so long, or why somebody kept doing what they kept doing. It's like, oh, I get it now. It's because you felt that way, or you believe that thing, or you think that. And maybe once you have, you know, a moment of clarity or communication, could be divine masculine needs to tell you something, or you need to tell the divine masculine something, you can let that chapter close and be like, oh, I get it now. And now that I get it, like, I can let it go, or I can cut it off, or I can, you know, do what I need to do so that it doesn't, you know, cause conflict, competition, and chaos in my life. Like, if this is all that it causes, or stagnancy, it doesn't go anywhere, like you don't feel like you're going to get to your 2 of Cups with the person, then, you know, let it go. But if you feel that, like, it's been guarded and you've been blocked and you've had all this crazy shit going on because the 2 of you weren't seeing eye to eye, or you weren't allowing yourselves to have clarity or understanding or communication, which is fucking key to have anything happen, then, you know, that may be why your 2 of Cups was like stagnant or not moving or not working, because nobody was communicating, or nobody was telling the truth, or nobody was ever saying what they needed to say, or what they felt, or what they thought, or what they believed, or what they forgot, or what they knew, or what they didn't know, you know. So try to keep that in mind at this time, that you may need to hear some things that maybe aren't easy to hear, or you may need to say some things that aren't easy to say, but be authentic, because that's the only way that anything's going to get better in your life. Okay. We also have the Queen of Pentacles, so somebody could see you as valuable, somebody could think of you as valuable. They may have a lot of value on you. That doesn't mean, you know, anything negative or positive, though. Unfortunately, somebody can think of you as being like awesome sauce, but that could be like, you're too good, you know, you're too amazing, or you're too good for me, or I like whatever, or maybe I didn't see this before, and now because I didn't see it before, I screwed it up too much. So again, clarity, communication needs to be had so that people can understand, you know, where they stand with each other and like what that all means. But we do have the Nine of Wands here, so I feel like nobody's really ready to give up in your situations. This could be you, because we get the feminine here, so you could be like, I'm not giving up. I know that I've got to tell my divine masculine or somebody that has a lot of passion for me what I feel, but I may be way too fucking scared, or I may be too anxious about it because I'm feminine, or because, you know, I don't know what they're going to say. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be bad or good or indifferent or anything in between. But I asked again over here, and then this time we had the Eight of Wands and the Hermit. So I'm like, what are they thinking about? And like, I feel like somebody's thinking like they want to rush towards you. They want to take action towards you. They want to have all this passion, movement, and like swift, like fiery, woohoo. This is like, you know, running in and sweeping somebody off their feet, right? But the Hermit is a reflective, total opposite energy. So I feel like there's two versions of this person, or there's two versions of yourself. There's like there's a part of you that's like ready to willing, like running, jump, and just take it all the way. And there's another part of you that's like, fuck that, I'm out of here. Like, I gotta go hide from this. I can't do this. I don't know what the fuck to do. You know, it could be very much night and day, feminine and masculine, playing out inside of your minds at this time, or whoever you're connected to's minds. Then we had the Five of Swords with the Ten of Cups for feelings, okay? So I feel like somebody may be feeling that they've been stabbed in the back. You may both feel this way, actually. And you may both just want a happy fucking ever after. Maybe with each other or maybe with somebody else. But I feel like at the end of the day, you both just want to be happy. You just don't want to feel like somebody's stabbing you in the back. You don't want to feel like somebody's just going to fucking and run off. You want somebody to make a clear decision and, you know, follow through with that and be your divine counterpart, your lover. But I feel like you guys have a choice to make when it comes to this, okay? So you may have the choice to be like, is this going to be my divine counterpart or not? Because if this is going to be my divine counterpart, then we need to have a valuable new beginning. It needs to be solid, it needs to be stable, it needs to be grounded, it needs to be good. And I need to stop self-sabotaging. I need to stop letting, you know, my fears and my doubts, my insecurities run away with themselves. I can't do this without feeling protected. I got to get rid of my unnecessary fears. I got to stop assuming the worst and going into the fucking underground just because of where I've been, where all things pause and begin again. So when you're in a pause with your person, don't think of it as the end. Think of it as a pause, and that something's going to happen, whether it's with them or with someone else or whatever. Something is going to happen. You're going to get to where you need to go. Your Ace of Pentacles is the most valuable thing that you can have, though. So just know that, like, it's going to require strength. You're going to have to face your fears. You're going to have to say what you want and do what you want to do to make those things happen for you. And that's where your transformation comes from, is when, you know, you see that the value is there. You see that, like, there's stability there. You see that, you know, you can have something good. It doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be this Nine of Swords, sleepless nights, horrible, oh my God, I don't know. And with the Eight of Wands again, I definitely feel somebody's like wanting to take action towards you. They want to communicate. They want to travel towards you. They want to take fast movements. But a chapter's closing right now. So just know that you need to maybe go slow as that happens. But somebody definitely feels like they would like to reconcile with you. But I again feel like there's a part of it that's stagnant. There's a part of it that's stuck. There's like, I can't move. Like, I want to go forward. I know what I feel. I know, like, I know that this is where I should go. Or I know that there's something there that's unfinished. I know that I need to make up my mind. But I need to go fucking slow. I need to go slow. And I can't rush. I can't rush, but I want to have victory. I want to rush in and have victory. I want to have clarity. I want to give you romance and love and all of that, but I don't know how to do it yet. So I just need to go slow, and I need to make sure that I'm not making a mistake, and I need to be balanced. I need it to be temperance. So try not to be too much. You know, you may cause conflict, you may cause chaos, you may cause this person to be uncertain if you're too much. Okay, so try to just chill yourself out, calm down, and know that, like, this decision needs to be made. But this person, I feel like, is not ready to give up either, because you got the Nine of Wands twice. We had the Nine of Wands with that deck and the Nine of Wands with this deck, and this is like, I've been beaten, I've been bruised, and I've been through really fucking hard times. I've been through the Ten of Swords. Maybe you caused the Ten of Swords. Maybe I've caused the Ten of Swords. Maybe we both caused the Ten of Swords together with other people in other parts of our lives and other lifetimes, and maybe we're both fucking tired of it. But neither one of us are really willing to throw in the towel yet completely either. There's still some passion here. There's still something here that's worth exploring, but you need to be individually good on your own first. Single, sexy, confident, independent, doing your own thing, living your own life before your justice is going to be had. And I asked, what does this person truly, truly want? What is the one thing that they truly, truly want? They want justice. They want to be the King of Pentacles, and they want the Ten of Pentacles, which is ultimate fulfillment. This is like leaving a legacy behind. This is somebody that has something worth having. This is somebody that, is seen as a stable, committed, loyal partner. This is somebody that brings you justice and balance. This is somebody that is like, I finally know why my life sucked up till now, or I know why it didn't work out with anyone else until now. I know that this is what I truly deserve, and this is where I want to be, and this is where I'm gonna be for the rest of my life, and I don't have to worry about it. I know you're not going to leave. I know you're not going to cheat. I know you're not going to steal. I know you're not going to do those things to me, because I just know you're not. And it's just a knowing you would have when you find this. When you get that justice, when you get that Ten of Pentacles, when you get that King of Pentacles, you feel that, and it will come with a vulnerable, authentic offer, and you'll know it, you'll trust it, and you'll have it, and then you celebrate, because then you get married and committed and stable, and you go and you celebrate. But it comes from a man of truth. Even if they have to tell you a difficult truth, they're going to tell you the truth. So listen to the truth, learn from the truth, and evolve, and let go of the karmics, the karma, the stuff from the past, the bullshit that keeps you from having your Ace of Cups, and just keep going forward till you're at your Four of Wands with your twin flame mirror, and follow your intuition on the way there. Okay? And don't go down into the darkness of the steps that lead us into the depression and into the scary thoughts, or let me self-sabotage. Heal that shit, because that shit is what's going to sabotage it and make it so you can't work together with your partner. It's going to make it so that there's all this shit that you got to leave these troubles behind. And if they're going to help you to come out of those troubles, let them lead you out. If you don't know how to see your way out of it, if you're cold, aloof, difficult, everybody's hurt me, and I'm just gonna be the hermit and never go anywhere or let anybody near me again because somebody broke my heart too many times, let somebody love you out of there. Whether it's the person you thought it was going to be or somebody else, maybe some of you have to decide that, but you're going to have your Ten of Cups. You're going to have your wishes come true. You're going to have what you deserve because you've been a good person, or because you've, gotten to where you needed to go. As long as you've put out good into the world, and you don't lie, and you don't steal, and you don't cheat, and you don't do those things to somebody, you're going to get something that's worth having. You're going to have that mirrored back to you with the divine partner that you deserve at the end of the day. Okay? So hopefully that made sense for somebody. I do feel like somebody is waiting for this, and it could be a masculine, and they may be starting to see you as their mirror, or they may be starting to look into the mirror to figure out what they need to put to an end in their life, or what fears that they have stopping them from transforming this partnership into fire, and to rushing in to deliver the truth that maybe they've had locked behind these doors. Maybe they've had all these walls and this bullshit up, or these juggling this shit let me bring another person in, let me bring another person in, let me try this one now, let me try that one now. And all the while, you may have been the Empress pouring love out to this person, and they weren't accepting it from you. They may have just kept running away from your love because maybe they weren't ready to receive love, or maybe they didn't know what love looked like, or maybe they didn't, see the value of the love that you had. But if they're starting to, see that now, and realizing that maybe they've defeated themselves by not accepting that love, or they've put themselves out into the cold now, they could be having that powerful moment of realization, which is like a tower moment, and getting more committed to their partnership, or getting more committed to your partnership as divine counterparts. Instead of just hanging around upside down, they've actually awoken, they've seen something, they've seen the light, they see the value that you have, and they may be ready to come, forward, but they may be afraid of rejection, or you may be so afraid of rejection because they've already rejected you so many times that you may sabotage it when all they're trying to do is make you happy. Okay, so try not to do that, and believe me, I know how fucking hard it is, but just do your best that you can, because I feel like a lot of us are heading towards that healthy, happy place that we want to be in with joy. And there's always going to be risks, but the rewards will outweigh the risks when you forgive and you forget and you're fucking authentic and you don't lie and you just tell the truth and you keep moving forward to the place that releases you from the unnecessary fears, and you reduce those burdens that do not need to be there just because. Don't let that shit control your life. illuminate your mind, illuminate what you can have, and know that you're going to have opportunity. Okay, this says fortune meets opportunity. So there's going to be an opportunity for you to have like this beautiful fortune come into your life in regards to, you know, your communities, in regards to your love life, in regards to your partnership, in regards to a valuable new beginning. Okay, so thank you guys very much. Happy Halloween in MUNAY. Namaste.